today I have some words for you from Carl Jung to get us started. He said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. In yoga, we are in the business of awakening. That's what this practice is all about. And so looking inside, I think, is about coming into the present moment and getting real with yourself. I do think it's important to dream, to look outside and look around and to dream, but it's more important to look inside and awaken and to be present. However, it's not just good enough to look inside all the time. We have to manifest what we see and what we find when we look inside. So those thoughts, those ideas, those feelings that we have when we look inside, we then need to manifest. We need to express the feelings. We need to manifest the ideas in some sort of action. So in our practice today, we're going to go back and forth between forward bends in a physical sense, forward bending. Forward bendings allow us the room to look within, and back bending physically, and those allow us to express what we find within. So don't worry, this is not going to be all going from deep forward bend to deep back bend. We're going to work up to something a little bit deeper, but all throughout the practice, we will be forward bending and back bending as we go along. So use those forward bending opportunities to look within, to awaken whatever you find within, and use the back bending opportunities as an opportunity to manifest, an opportunity to put into action, to express what you find within. So come into a seat that feels nice for you. Rest your palms down on your legs, so that is grounding to help us settle. And then close your eyes once you've found your seat and once you've pressed your palms onto your thighs. With our eyes closed, although our spine is in neutral, we are looking within. Often, as we fill up our days with activities and things to do, we miss the opportunity to close our eyes, to be still, to be quiet, and to really look and mine what is inside. Looking within allows us to awaken what we find there. And as we awaken it, we can manifest it. Turn your palms up now and bring them together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. With your eyes still closed, with your inner vision turned on to what is in your heart, make a commitment to be present in your practice today. And that being present means looking within and then expressing what is within. Allow your poses to be a tool you use to look within and a tool to express. On your exhale, bow to your intention, to your ability to be present. Bow to what you find in your heart today. And now open up your palms, rest the backs of your hands onto your thighs so that your palms are open. This is a mudra or hand gesture of awareness, of openness. And then on your next inhale, sit taller, roll your shoulders back, open your heart, lift the crown of your head up to the sky, and then gently open your eyes. All right, everybody, we are going to start. I lost you for a minute there. I somehow went from speaker view to, or off of gallery view onto speaker view, but now I can see you all. We're going to get your music started if you're using music, and then make your way to child's pose. That'll be our first forward bend of the practice. So take your knees a little wide, bring your big toes together. We'll stretch the arms out in front. So this is actually extended child's pose. And if it works for you, rest your forehead on your mat. If your forehead doesn't reach your mat, you can place a block or some prop that stands in for a block under your head. And then gently roll your forehead side to side across your mat. Just gently waking up the neck. Come to neutral with your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose and push it out through your mouth. Lift your head up just a little bit. Walk your hands over to the right. So your right hand will be off the mat, and then place your left hand on top of it. Weave your left fingers in between your right fingers and pull back through your outer left hip. So you can get a little longer into your left side. And then inhale, release. Walk your hands through the middle, and exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Place your right palm on top of your left hand. Weave your right fingers into or between your left fingers, and then sit back or pull back into your right hip. Just try to get longer into your right side body. And then inhale, release. Walk your hands to the middle. One more time, press your forehead down into the mat. Deep forward bend, deep folding in here. And then on your next inhale, start to rise up to all fours. Wrists underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Deep breath in through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Seal your lips and start breathing in and out of your nose. Once you find a rhythm to your breath, add in cat pose on your exhale and cow pose on your inhale. A couple more of these, just finding the rhythm of breath and body. Using your cow pose to forward bend and turn within, and your cow pose to back bend and manifest. One more time, exhale, cat, and inhale, cow. And then come into a neutral spine, tone into your belly a little bit. Kick your right foot off the right side of your mat. Your right knee will stay planted right where it is. Stretch your left leg back and then lower your left heel down to the floor so the whole foot is on the floor. We'll take 3 arm circles here. So as you inhale, take your left arm back past your left hip and up into the air, and then exhale, draw it forward and down. Really keep going. Inhaling back and up, exhaling forward and down. Really exaggerate the circle, making the circle as big as you can. We've got one more time around here. And then take your left hand back past your left hip, lift your left leg up, bend the left knee, reach back, grab onto your foot, hug your heel in towards your hip, a little bit of a quad stretch here. And then on an exhale, push your foot back into your hand and back bend here. Take your head back, draw your shoulder blades onto the back, Open up, and then exhale, release. Come back to hands and knees. Exhale, cat, forward bend. Inhale, cow, back bend, and then come to neutral. Kick your left foot off the left side of your mat. Stretch your right leg back and lower the whole sole of the foot down to the floor. 3 arm circles with the right arm. Inhale, take the right arm back and up, and then exhale, forward and down. 2 more on your own, exaggerating that circle, making it as big as you can, but moving with the rhythm of your breath. Now stretch your right hand back past your right hip, lift your right leg up, bend the right knee, reach back, grab onto your foot, hug your heel in towards your hip. We'll take a couple of breaths right here, just opening up the front of the thigh. And then on your exhale, push your foot back, open up, make this a back bend. Take your head back, draw your shoulder blades onto the back, open up here, and then exhale, release, hand down, knee down. One more time, exhale, cat, and inhale, cow, and then make your way to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up to the sky as you sink your heels down into the earth. Move your head around a little bit here, nodding, yes. Shaking your head, no, and then taking whatever circular motions help you loosen up your neck and upper back, or tops of the shoulders. And then bring your head to stillness. One more time here, deep breath in through your nose, big exhale through your mouth. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Stand in forward bend, folding out over your legs. And then inhale, rise up. At the top here, we'll take the slightest back bend, opening up, expressing what is inside, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Flow with your breath here. Inhale, rise, look up, lift your heart. Exhale, fold down to forward bend. Look within. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Use your inhale to find plank and your exhale to lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Open up, let the heart express what's inside here. Exhale, downward facing dog. So lower your knees to the mat and look up at your screen or where you can see me. We're going to do knee to nose, but we're going to add a little hop in. So we'll take, watch me do this one. I'll take the right leg up and then exhale, knee to nose. And then if it works for you, you're going to reach your right leg up and maybe hop that left foot off the mat. All right, it's an option for you. So downward dog. Inhale, right leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. As you inhale, lift the right leg, hop the left foot. Knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Last time, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Plant your right foot at the front of your mat. Come up to warrior one. Lower your back heel to the floor and rise up. Open up across the chest. So we did a little series, that forward bending, all of that knee to nose, that was forward bending, and now open up into a little back bend here. Circle your arms out wide, interlace your hands behind your back. On your exhale, humble warrior, forward bend, fold in, look within, be present with what you find when you turn within. And then inhale, lift back up. Take your arms up overhead, maybe a deeper back bend as you open up here. And then on an exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to stand on the right leg and bring the left knee up to hip height and balance. So now we will forward bend and back bend while balancing. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, warrior three variation. We're going to keep the hands at the heart on this round, stretching the left leg back behind. This will be the forward bend. Inhale, lift back up, left knee to hip height. See if you can find a hint of a back bend here. Inhale back up, take your hands around behind your back, interlace your fingers. Exhale, warrior three, variation, stretching the left leg back, maybe lifting the knuckles, interlaced up to the ceiling. Inhale, stand back tall, left knee to hip height. This time, take your arms up overhead. We'll take a regular warrior three. Exhale, bow forward, look within, be present with what you find. And then step back to warrior one. Lower your left foot to the back of your mat. Lift your heart up, open up. This will be your biggest warrior one yet. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. One leg dog, right leg lifts. One leg vinyasa. Fold down to the earth. And then inhale to your back bend. And then back to downward facing dog. Second side. So you can do regular knee to nose, or when you lift your left leg high behind you, take a little hop with the right foot. So let's start, inhale, left leg back and up behind. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift and hop. Two more. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, lift. Last one, pull in, lift. This time, plant your foot at the front of your mat. Warrior one, back foot roots. Inhale, rise up. Just take a moment to be in your warrior one. Here's a back bend, opening across the chest, letting the front body stretch. And then on an exhale, circle your arms out, exaggerate that circle, take your hands behind, interlace, and then exhale, humble warrior. Fold down and in, bring your hands away from your back. And then inhale, lift back up, warrior one. Take the arms up overhead, maybe a little deeper now into your back bend, expressing what you found inside on the forward bend. On an exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to stand in balance on the left foot. Bring the right knee up to hip height. Keep your hands at your heart here. Exhale, warrior three. Variation, stretching the right leg back, forward bending, folding in. Inhale, lift back up, right knee to hip height. Take your hands behind your back, interlace, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, warrior three, variation. Maybe this time you lift your hands up to the sky. Lift back up to standing and balancing. This time, take your arms up overhead. Deep breath in, exhale, forward bend for full warrior three. And then step back to warrior one. Back foot roots at the back of your mat. Open it up a little bit more here. Stretch across the chest, express. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. One leg dog, left leg lifts, one leg vinyasa. All right, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs. Turn within, look within here. And then inhale, rise up. Take your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, friends, if you use a block for half moon pose, put that block at the front right of your mat. We're going to get there eventually. We have a lot of poses to do before we get there, but eventually we'll get there and you'll want your block ready for you. Once you place your block, come back to the front of your mat, hands at your heart. Standing upright here, but still looking within. Take a breath in. Exhale, chair pose. Take your hips down low and lift your heart up high. Forward bending and back bending at the same time. Exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to the right. Bring that left elbow across and rotate around. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling if you can. And then on your inhale, release. Hands down to the mat. Straighten your legs, fold over them. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. And now take your Vinyasa, whatever that looks like for you. Jumping back, stepping back. Pay special attention when you go from your chaturanga to your back bend, the forward bend to the back bend. And then take a few breaths in downward facing dog. On the inhale, lift your right leg high to the sky. On your exhale, use your core to plant your foot to the front of your mat. Lift up to warrior two. And then straighten your front leg, triangle pose, reach out, try to keep that right side body long for as long as you can. And then maybe you turn triangle into a little bit of a back bend, walking your right hand farther back or away from your right leg, and then rolling your gaze up, pulling that left shoulder back. Inhale, lift back up, and then bend your front knee back to warrior two. Pivot around to the front of your mat, coming into high crescent pose. So both arms overhead, the back heel is lifted. Open the chest up here in the back bend. And then on an exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to stand in balance on the right leg in standing pigeon pose. So that right knee will stay bent a little bit as you cross the base of your left shin over. Push your hips back behind, just like you did in chair pose, but try to keep your heart lifted. We're going to twist around to the right. So you have a couple of options here. One option is to, or the easier option is to take your hands apart and put some part of your left arm into the sole of your left foot and take the right arm to the sky. A little bit tougher to keep your hands together in prayer and place your elbow or your upper left arm into the sole of your left foot as you twist around. There you go. And then inhale, lift back up, take your arms overhead, standing tall, straighten the right leg, left knee to hip height. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, standing splits. Hands down to the mat, stretch your left leg straight up to the sky as you fold over your right leg, forward bending, and then step back to lunge. Left foot all the way to the back of your mat. One leg dog, take your right leg back and up behind you, keep that leg lifted, and then walk your hands to the back of your mat. Standing split, standing on the left foot at the back of your mat. Just about one more breath here. And then lower your right foot down to meet your left foot. Fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up. You're still standing at the back of the mat, arms up overhead. Take a little back bend here, expressing whatever you found in that forward bend. And then inhale, come upright, keep the arms up overhead. Put your weight into the right foot, lift the left knee up, step halfway forward on your mat for warrior three. A little bit of a forward bend. Inhale, lift back up, balancing on your left foot, right knee to hip height. See if you can find a little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale, step your right foot to the front of your mat. Now it's half moon pose time. And then we'll turn this into more of a back bend. Half moon sugar cane, bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand. Grab your foot, roll your shoulder back, push your foot into your hand, open up. And then exhale, release, hands to the mat. Bring your left foot to meet the right foot. Fold in. And now chair pose. Low hips, high heart. And then stand all the way tall, legs straight. Find a standing back bend here. If you want support for some body part, bring your hands there. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Second side begins with chair pose. So take a breath in here. Exhale, get low. Keep the hips low. Inhale, lift the heart high. Exhale, forward bend, hands down, straight legs, fold over them. Inhale, stretch out halfway. And now take your vinyasa or just step back to downward dog. That's where we're all going to get to eventually. From downward dog, inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Exhale, use your core to plant your foot at the front of your mat. Come up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle pose. Lean out, keeping the left side body long, left fingers down, right fingers up to the sky. And make it a little bit of a back bend. Walk the left fingers away from your left leg a little bit, and then pull back through the right side. Inhale, lift back up to warrior, to lift up, and then bend your front knee, warrior two. Excuse me, rotate, pivot around to the front of your mat, high crescent pose. Find that back bend here, lift it, open, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Standing pigeon on the left foot. Left knee stays bent as you cross the right base of your shin over. And then lower your hips down and back like you do in chair, lifting the heart. And now we'll add the twist in standing pigeon. Either arms fly apart or keep your palms together and rotate around. On an inhale, release the twist, hands to your heart, and then stand all the way tall, still balancing on the left foot. Bring your right knee to hip height. Exhale, standing splits. Hands down to the mat. Right leg lifts for the sky as you fold down. And then step way back into lunge. And one leg dog. Left leg lifts high. Walk your hands to the back of your mat, standing splits. At the back, keeping your left leg lifted, folding over your right leg. One more breath here, and then lower your left foot to meet the right. Fold down into your legs. And then inhale, rise up. Find a little standing back bend at the top. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Oh, forgot about that. Keep your arms up overhead. We're gonna stand on the left leg. Bring the right knee up to hip height. And then warrior three. Step about halfway forward with your right foot. Fold out into warrior three. Inhale, rise up, arms up overhead, left knee to hip height. Exhale, step all the way to the top of your mat, half moon pose. I forgot to ask you to move your block over. Hopefully you remembered. And then from half moon, sugar cane. Bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand, find your foot, and then start to open into a back bend here. And then release your foot, bring your right foot down to meet the left foot, fold over both legs. And then one more chair pose. Lower your hips down, lift your heart. And then straight legs, standing back bend here, where you express, where you manifest. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more flow sequence here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way through your vinyasa. From downward dog, inhale, right leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. Stay here twisting or flip over into a three-pointed back bend, both feet and the left hand on the ground. Inhale, come back around, one leg dog, and then plant your right foot to the top of your mat. Low crescent pose. So that means we lower the left knee to the floor. We're gonna have that left knee down for a while. So pad it with whatever you have to keep your left knee comfortable here. Once you've got that low crescent, sweep the arms forward and up. Lift the chest up. Think about squeezing the legs in towards one another, scissoring action. But letting the hips come forward. So you stretch the front of the left hip, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, reaching the thumbs back and then down behind you, opening across the chest. And then exhale, come forward, hands on the inside of your right leg. We're gonna walk the hands over to the left for a lizard pose. Try to get at least your left forearm down on the mat. You may be able, or on the floor, you may be able to get both forearms down. Let's work on getting that left one down. We'll take a few moments to fold in here, hip opening. And then we'll add a twisting back bend. So with that left forearm down on the mat, start to lift up your right arm. One option is to bring the right hand to the inside of the left right leg and push the right leg away as you twist around to the right. Second option is to take that right arm up into the air and lean back. So it's a twist and a back bend. Third and final option is to bring that right hand around your back, maybe grab the front of your left hip, take your head back a little bit, twisting and back bending, and then inhale, release. Bring your right hand back around, walk your hands in, hands on either side of the right leg. We'll take half splits here. This is the only split that we're going to do today. Oh, I take that back. We did standing splits earlier. This is the only split we're going to do like this today. So if you need full splits, you can take that here or stay in the half split. And then think about folding over your front leg, forward bending over that leg. And then inhale, start to lift up. Plant your right foot onto the ground, bend your right knee back to that low crescent. Let's tuck the toes under on the back foot if you don't have them tucked already. And then sweep the arms forward and up, low crescent pose, opening up from that forward bend into this back bend. Lift your torso upright and then lift your back knee off the mat. And then add a back bend here with high crescent pose. And then exhale, hands down on the inside of the front leg. So we're going to go for our arm balance today. This is one leg pigeon version 2. I think it's easier than version 1. So from your lunge with your hands on the inside of your right leg, step your left foot forward until it's about the halfway point on your mat, and turn your left toes out to the side at about a 45-degree angle, bending that left knee. Walk your hands back a little bit. Right arm still on the inside of the right leg. Hands are under the shoulders or a little bit farther back, if you can get them a little farther back, just shoulder width distance apart. So now we're going to bend both knees and lower the hips, and think about squeezing the inner legs onto your outer arms. This is the base from which we start. So eventually we're going to lift both feet off the ground. Think about walking that right foot forward. Maybe you can lift the right foot off the ground and then lower it back down. So squeeze into the arms, look forward, walk that right foot forward until it lifts, and see if you can bend the elbows a little bit and get the back foot to lift off the mat too. Oh, that's one, we have to dream about that one, but keep looking within and trying it. Let's stand up at the top of the mat. Standing at the top of your mat, interlace your hands together and then make figure eights. We'll just open up the back of the wrist a little bit and then figure eight in the other direction. And then release, shake out the hands. All right, hands to your heart. Last flow here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen out. Make your way through Vinyasa or just step back to downward dog. From downward dog, inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. First option, stay in the twist. Second option, flip over into that three-pointed back bend. Both feet and right hand on the ground, left arm reaching up or maybe back behind you. Good, inhale, come back around to one leg dog. On your exhale, lunge your left foot to the top of your mat. And then low crescent pose. Lower your back knee to the ground, pat it, make it comfortable since we're going to be on it for a bit. And then as you inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Scissor the feet towards one another, pull the belly in and up. This is support from your lower body so that with your upper body you can find more of a back bend. Reach those thumbs back, take the head back. And then on an exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your left leg. Walk your hands over to the right for lizard pose. Try to get that right forearm down all the way to the mat. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Maybe let your head hang down, stretch out the back of the neck a little bit. Looking within here. And then we'll add the twisting back bend. So start to lift your left hand up. First option, left hand on the inside of the left thigh, pushing that thigh away from you as you draw your left shoulder back and take your gaze back past your left shoulder. Second option, take that left arm up into the air and reach it back. And then third option, take the left hand, reach around, grab the front of the right hip or whatever you can grab onto there. lifting the chest up in whatever option you choose. And then inhale, release, hands down to the inside of your front leg to begin. Walk both hands up. And then left arm on the outside of the left leg, half splits. So you shift your hips back until your right thigh is vertical, and you straighten your left leg. Back of the left heel, pressing into the floor. And then bow over your leg. Fold down into it. Forward bending, opportunity to turn in. And then inhale, start to lift your torso back up. Plant into your left foot, bring your left knee forward over the ankle. Tuck the toes under on the back foot, and then low crescent pose again. Sweep the arms up, find your back bend. And then inhale, bring your torso upright. Lift your back knee off the mat for high crescent pose. Once you're here, lower body is really strong, legs scissoring towards one another, low belly pulling in and up. It's going to give you more power for your upper back bend here in high crescent pose. And then inhale, lift back up. On your exhale, hands down on the inside of that left foot. So we'll prepare again for this one leg crow pose version 2. Step your right foot about halfway forward on your mat, so it's at about mid-mat. Turn your toes out to the side, and your right knee is bent. Walk your hands back a little bit here, and have them just shoulder width distance apart. Now you're going to start to lower your hips down and squeeze your inner thighs onto your outer arms. Look out in front of you. Maybe you can walk that left foot forward and lift it off the mat while the right ball of the foot is still on the ground. And then lower it back down. Let's squeeze the legs in again, hug the belly in and up, look forward, and then we'll start to straighten that left leg back out. Maybe lifting the right foot off the mat, squeezing in, and then lower your feet back down to the floor. Straighten your legs wherever you are, standing forward bend with wide feet. Take your feet out about outer hip width distance apart. And just fold over your legs here. Inhale, rise up to stand. This will be our last standing pose. And then place your hands wherever you like them for support for a back bend. Again, feet a little bit wider, give you a little bit more room. Standing back bend here. And then inhale, back up. And let's make our way to a seat on the mat. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Arms up overhead. And then exhale, bow forward. This is one of the easier forward bends I don't think it's the easiest forward bend, but it's one of the easier forward bends for finding some stillness and looking within. You're not having to balance, you're not having to hold yourself up, just drape yourself over your legs. And then inhale, lift back up. We'll take a reverse tabletop for our back bend here. So bend your knees, soles of the feet on the floor. Let's turn our fingers to point out to the sides. Draw the shoulders back and then push into the feet, push into the hands. Lift the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades to lift the heart a little bit more. And then exhale, lower your hips back down. Straighten the legs back out in front of you. Bend your right knee, sole of the foot on the floor, and then cross the right foot to the outside of the left leg. Yeah, take your right hand behind, left arm up, and then as you exhale, twist around to the right. Left hand on the front of the knee to help you twist, or left elbow hooked around the knee, or some of you will bring your left arm to the outside of the right leg. Inhale to release, back around to the front. We're going to keep the right foot on the outside of the left leg, but take it out wider. So we're trying to stack the knees on top of one another here. Take both arms up, and then exhale, forward bend. Reach out for your foot or whatever part of your straight leg you can hold on to forward bend over. And then inhale, lift up. We're going to take that reverse tabletop again, this time with pigeon legs. So slide your right knee out to the right. So you've got the base of your right shin above your left knee. Bend the left knee, sole of the foot on the floor. Fingers pointing out to the sides. Roll the shoulders back. Breath in, and then exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Shake them out a little bit. And we'll take the second side. This time we bend the left knee and then cross the left foot to the outside of the right leg. And twist. Left hand behind, right arm up. Exhale. Twist to the left. Inhale, back around to the front. And then you're going to keep the left foot on the outside of the right leg, but slide it more out to the right and also back a little bit, trying to stack the knees on top of one another. There you go. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift back up. Take your left knee out to the left more, so you've got that figure four shape of the legs. And then bend your right knee so the sole of the foot is on the ground. Hands behind you, just about shoulder width distance apart. Fingers pointed out to the sides. Draw the shoulders back and then lift the hips off the ground. Reverse tabletop in pigeon legs. And then exhale, lower back down. Stretch both legs out, shake your knees out a little bit. All right, we've got one more opportunity to go from forward bend to back bend, and that's going to be shoulder stand, which will be our forward bend. It's an inversion and a forward bend. And then fish pose after that. If you don't like those poses, you want different forward bend and back bend, you're welcome to take anything you like here. I'll talk you through the shoulder stand and fish pose. So come onto your back, soles of your feet on the mat, and then use a little bit of momentum. Lift your legs up, lift your hips up. Hands come to your low back to support you.
And now let's start to slowly lower down. Lowering the hips down. And then bringing, we're going to bend the knees for this version, to start this version of fish. Soles of the feet on the ground. Place your hands under your hips. So palms down, hands under your hips, or just on the outsides. And then push into your hands down and also towards the direction your toes are pointing. Lift your chest up. See if you can squeeze the elbows in. As you push your hands forward, your hips will slide off your hands, more towards your wrists. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Lower some part of your head down to the floor. And then either straighten the legs out onto the mat, or if your low back and your core will support, you can lift the legs up a few inches off the floor. Last back bend here. And then as you're ready, exhale, lower down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest, rock across your back a couple of times. And we'll take a twist each way here. Keep the right knee in, stretch the left leg out. And take the right knee to the left, stretch the right arm out to the right. Inhale, bring your right leg up, hug both knees in, rock across a couple of times. And then keep your left knee in, stretch your right leg out, and then take your right knee, your left knee over to the right. Stretch your left arm back out to the left. Inhale, bring your knee back up, hug both knees in again, rock over your back. We are ready for Shavasana. Stretch your legs out long. If you need other finishing poses, of course, take those. Once you've stretched out into your corpse pose, see if you can feel an evenness of front and back body. So no longer forward bending or back bending, but trying to find neutral here. Of course, your spine has 3 curves and we're trying to keep those curves, but that is neutral. Finding that. Take a deep inhale through your nose and let it seep out through your mouth slowly. Take 2 more of those clearing breaths on your own. Deep inhale, and then a nice slow exhale. Although we're now in a neutral position physically, these moments of stillness are the perfect time to really turn your inner eye on, to look within. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakes? Take these moments to look within, be with what you find there.
Begin to open up your breathing a little bit. So you have a longer inhale and a longer exhale. Let these slightly longer breaths begin to reawaken you. Wave your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. And then keeping that neutral position, stretch your arms overhead, reach your legs long, neutral spine here as you stretch, as you awaken, as you begin to take what you found inside and express it, manifest it. Exhale, roll to your right side. If that's comfortable for you, take a moment to honor yourself, honor your practice, honor what's on the inside of you, honor your ability to be present with it. And then on an exhale, come up to a seat. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. Now is the time to take what you found on the inside in your practice and make it manifest, express it. Let's take some of those feelings of tenderness, of love that we found when we looked within in our practice and send those out to people in need. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.